That's the secret of my life. I'm going to edit it if it needs to be edited.
Bingo is live!
All right, let's start again.
All right, kids, welcome to.
so close.
We're so close, but not yet. So close, but yet so far. All right, kids, it's time for a Bingo is Life. The podcast.
The podcast, yeah.
Joined over here by the two fabulous boys from Prairie Branch.
That's right.
The favorite sons of the western part of the Shenandoah Valley, Chris and Mike Haddishaw.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jay.
And over here, this is the one and only Dan Easley.
You know, you can never put the feathers back in.
There it is. That's Dan. Right there he is.
I am still Jay Zaire, the most pleasant boy in the city of Harrisonburg, Virginia.
You are quite pleasant this evening.
Well, by the time this airs, I'll be,
That's true.
I'll be drooling in the nursing home, talking about the girl from Baltimore.
Oh, man, I remember her.
Yeah.
Man, how could you forget?
Yeah, I know.
God.
I actually do forget.
Yeah.
You ever heard that song "Streets of Baltimore"?
That's a great song.
God, that is a good song.
I can actually
Graham
play.
Parsons is
Graham
what I've
Parsons.
heard.
We're talking about the streets of Laredo, but it's really all about the streets of Baltimore.
There's another great song about Baltimore by Randy Newman. Yeah, Randy Newman.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever heard of the Counting Crows doing "Raining in Baltimore"?
I'm not sure I know a single Baltimore song.
Oh, man, "Raining in Baltimore."
Raining in Baltimore, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it about the rain or is it about Baltimore?
I think it's just about missing.
That's a real question. What?
I think it's a good question.
I think
Oh,
it's
that was
about
clever.
missing. It's just a love song. It's
Yay, I'm in Baltimore
but
and it's
really
raining.
sad, and it's like the
Well,
piano
yeah.
is tuned.
So
Can I tell you my favorite song title ever? It's a Charles Mingus tune, the jazz bass player. He wrote a tune called I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, but he called a tune "The Shoes of the Fisherman's Wife Are Some Jive-Ass Slippers."
Huh.
Nice.
I've never really understood it, but it just sounds cool.
That was the title?
That was the title
That was
of
the title.
tune. Yeah.
So,
It was an instrumental.
yeah, it's an instrumental. Yeah, they're on. Yeah.
in case you haven't figured it out, it's just us boys.
Oh, yeah. Mumshackles, where are you? My God, it's obvious we need to have you
We
here.
have no one. We have no one in the silent Dave and Aaron chair, and I guess anything topical is off the table.
They're Botan.
We're still living in a world that the president hasn't been chosen yet.
Well, that just ruins this.
true.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying
well, that's
hasn't been chosen yet.
Well, what if we are playing this in January of 6th
Yeah,
of
well,
2025?
when you hear it, it'll be like, oh, that was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't one chosen then.
Yeah, there was no chosen
Have
one.
you ever heard of
The past sure is great.
I love the past.
Marshall McLuhan?
No.
Marshall McLuhan. Yeah, man. Is
that
he
guy
the medium is the message guy?
That guy was a prophet. Was a mad prophet of the airwaves.
Yeah.
Everything he was saying in '61 is he was describing what's happening.
Yeah.
It has come true. The electric.
It's Ben Drew.
He was saying that there will be so much disinformation in the electric age that the only purpose of education will be to try to save society from falling apart.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
pretty good.
He said that in '61.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Hey, what did you guys think of the Elon coming out with that new robot? Did any of you all see the?
I didn't
Humanoids.
watch it. I've heard somebody. You're the second person today who's mentioned the existence of it.
It's interesting. I think it's. I mean, I'm not saying. I
We're
don't
gonna have to edit this out too.
I read an article that said that those they were supposed to be AI robots, or driven by AI, but they were human assisted. Yeah. So it's kind of like they walked on their own because of AI, but the back and forth they were having with people, that was all like human assisted. That's phoning it in.
Well, I also think.
And we want that though. As soon as they can do that on their own, we're done for, man. That's listen to my latest rock opera. You'll hear all about it.
La, 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 la.
So
I wish it sounded that nice.
one of the things that bothered me was he was like, well, eventually there'll be 20 to 30,000 in the long run. But you're
for
like
a robot.
Yeah, but that will do whatever you want it to do in your house. It'll clean, it'll mow.
They've been saying that since 1958 in the Jetsons.
Yeah,
Meet George Jetson.
It is neat. It's close.
Getting closer.
It's not
Closer.
close.
It's closer.
Will it leave my house? That's what I want it to do. I had enough trouble with the cat.
I was just imagining.
Pay my taxes.
Does anyone here own a Roomba?
I tried one. The cat didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, we have one, and I'm always like on the Roomba app, being like, "Stop, Roomba!" I'm always like trying to tell it what to do.
Didn't you give it a name at one point?
Nobody's
It's called Little Hal.
A little house.
Everybody's turned this podcast off 10 minutes ago. Put on the baseball podcast.
Did
you know they
talk
have
about baseball?
They have a shot clock in baseball now.
That's right, they do. It's not called a shot clock,
but it's 24 seconds long, just like the NBA.
That was it.
Yeah.
So they have
It's gotta
24
move.
seconds to do what? Like pitch?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my friend Aaron was telling me he's a baseball guy. He
Barely
said
enough time to like get some Vaseline off the bill of your hat.
like this has destroyed the career of at least one
Make
pitcher.
some bets on the Reds.
What?
Did we lose Pete Rose a while back?
We did.
Pete
We
Rose,
did just lose.
We just Pete Rose.
Yeah.
A while
to the
back.
great pitching hut in the sky.
The great. He's talking to the great bookie in the
Yeah, I was
sky
gonna
right
say,
now.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Put it all on the Reds, boys. Put it all on the Reds.
He's dead. He's been punished enough. He can be in the Hall of Fame now.
We could be topical. Just stick to the mid 80s.
I forgot what I was.
Oh, some
You said
pitcher
that
lost his career.
Yeah. Oh,
because-
yeah.
clock.
He had a motion that he'd been using for his entire career. That
A
lasted,
motion,
a pitching motion,
like a pre thing,
a pre-thing, like
yeah.
swing
I'm getting ready to
left,
pitch.
swing right. It
Ritualistic
lasted
kinda.
longer than the clock times. That he
Well,
had.
that's ridiculous. He should stop that.
Well, he can't do it. It's
I'm
like,
glad he's dead. I mean, no, he's not dead.
He's just
No.
out of the.
Oh God.
I mean that his career is ruined, or whatever. It's a clock. Come on, you get used to it.
Maybe this could be the Christmas special.
No, there are.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Especially at Jay's house.
Christmas at Jay's house. Yeah, you can come help me put my lights up. I'm gonna get one of those giant skeletons for Christmas. Really scary werewolf with blood hanging off of his head.
Jay,
Get off
it's
of my
not Halloween, did he?
And underneath the dripping blood sign, it just says "Merry Christmas."
I got all the Christmas decorations in these plastic bins. I still haven't got them put away from last Christmas. It's freaking November.
You can put them all in that that electrical line that you got running through your house.
Oh yeah, right. We're gonna build the space station for all the aliens who built Machu Picchu in the quarry. They can fly up here.
Is it
Fellas,
time for another?
I think it's time for another
Unexpected
Notion
Oh,
by
good.
Dan Easley.
Thank you, Mike. I trust you have the beep machine at the
Oh
ready.
yeah, sure.
All right, yeah. Oh, good. My people, have you ever wanted to it up? So have I, my friends. So have I. I'm Dan Easley.
That was the girl.
You just ruined That's the final nail in the coffin for my clean comedy career in Harrisonburg.
Yeah, I think
I'm
actually,
ruined.
I think that Moses said the same thing.
Yeah.
My people.
To think
I've been holding on to that one for about a month now, just waiting. So, as you may have ascertained earlier, well, we mentioned it before. So, we don't have a guest.
Oh, we're going to introduce
Yeah.
the guest now.
We could say that you, dear listener, are our guest, and you may be thinking, "I wish I could just hear my own thoughts right now." So we invite you to continue sending in your letters.
Yeah. Preferably written letters on paper.
That's right.
I have
Yeah.
some exciting news.
Oh,
What?
The next cover show is coming together.
what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my
ABBA?
gosh.
No, it's going to be. It's actually going to be
The SNL soundtrack?
100% different from the last one.
Taylor Swift?
Are you going to give any details, or are you going to hold off?
The last one again was the Rolling Stones.
I'm gonna
so
say
100% different from the Rolling Stones.
90% different.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, what's going to be mainly different is the venue's going to be different. I've already got a new venue. It's going to be much smaller, and we're charging a ticket price.
Did you talk to a guy named Justin?
No,
Wait. He's teasing us. Are you going to tell us anything? No.
all that feels like a good tease, right?
Yeah, that's
Is that
pretty
good?
good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was like
Leave it at
vague
that,
enough,
yeah.
but it's all coming together, and
All
I'm
coming
really
together.
excited about it.
And you know who the act is that we're paying tribute to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. It's going to be good.
To-
I'm just
Tony,
excited.
Tony, Orlando, and Dawn.
Tie a yellow ribbon.
Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you
20.
want me.
23 different renditions of Muskrat Love. Let's see what this town can really do.
No. That's
I know that's not. That's the Captain and Tennille. I
They're
know.
great.
But,
They're
I
a
was just
lot better
riffing
than,
on it.
They're a lot better than Tony, Orlando, and Dawn.
Do you know that song? This is funny. So today I was working with this guy.
Let's see what
who
this
is
town can do.
A little bit older than me, but he was walking around going, "The night Chicago died." Yeah. And I started singing that too, but I only knew that one line.
Yeah.
The night Chicago. And so I had to look it up. And
Yeah.
it's a
What
band
night was it?
called White Lace. It was
Yeah.
It's a one-hit wonder.
It's sort of
Sounds classy.
It's sort of the flip side of Billy Don't Be a Hero, which came out about the same time. Billy dies.
Is it?
Spoiler alert: Billy dies, but in the night Chicago died, he survives. He was a cop on this. Daddy was a cop on the east side of Chicago, back in the good old days, back in the USA.
Nice.
Is it a dumb question to ask? What is the night Chicago died?
Oh, it was some made-up story about like a huge battle between Al Capone's gangsters and the police in Chicago.
Miss O'Hara's cow, you see.
She kicked over that lantern.
Chicago went up in flames.
Well, it was the day that music died.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's-
popular song.
No, that
Yeah.
was at the Copacabana.
Yeah, Don McLean like flipped out. Did you know that? He's like
Yeah.
totally went nuts.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's as
did.
bad as Jay Zare.
You know what?
Probably because he had to keep singing that 43-minute long song every night. That would drive anybody nuts.
Have you guys ever heard that Van Gogh song that Don McLean?
Actually, that song's
Oh,
beautiful.
that's a
That's
beautiful-
Starry, Starry Night. That's
Yeah.
gorgeous. That's a lovely, lovely.
It is a beautiful
It's really
song.
a beautiful
So
song.
I was at they called it, I was at 2 events recently, both marching band events. One was called the POC, the Parade of Champions.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Parade of Champions.
Nothing
Anyways,
but champions at
bunch
JMU.
so there they were. We were at the JMU stadium, and we were watching all these different acts. And one of them did a Van Gogh thing. They had everyone was dressed up in this outfit that looked like Starry Night, and they played Starry, Starry
Wow,
Night,
the Don McLean.
the Don
Man.
McLean song.
Wow.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so Rocktown. It was Rock City is what they're called. And that's both the high schools together.
Okay.
And they perform as one big group. It's called Rock.
Like Voltron.
Yeah, yes, like Voltron. And
Exactly.
so they had I think theirs was called like the Cool Explosion or something, and they had all the people that were dancing all had hammers and these huge anvils, and they're all dancing around going ding,
Wow.
bling, yeah, and the band is playing these like ding ding songs. It was
Man.
fantastic.
I'll be remembering that next time I write out my property tax check.
This is for the children in their band playing that
Their anvils.
hammer.
playing that Bugs Bunny company banging
I'm sure
song.
that the PTA took care of that.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, our band was great. I thought we did great, but the other bands that were in the same level, oh my God! I mean, they were
From other
they were so good.
from other cities.
Yeah. Oh man, it was.
Do you remember what other locations?
Oh, all over the East Coast. I mean,
All
North
over.
Carolina. I'm talking like North Carolina.
No, like Broadway.
No. There were some local people too,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I mean, for the most part, it was
Probably
far away.
Rocktown just got in because they were, local and they got a little.
It was-
pass.
It's because they were the host.
The host, right? The Rocktown of North Carolina didn't get to come. It was like the really good school.
Yeah, it was
The one,
really
the one
fun.
where they give music lessons starting when you're in the womb.
Yeah,
Do they do that now?
Sure.
Awesome.
In Northern Virginia, they do.
yeah. I did.
D flat. That's a D flat. That's dear.
The funny thing is,
Have some more nutritious food so our child will be in the parade of champions at James Madison in 1997. 59.
Jay doesn't know what year it is.
Who cares?
Jay doesn't even know we're in the 2000s.
I don't even know where we are. What is this
I'm
point?
just trying to bring it back to the Copacabana, man.
Last time I remember,
Two
I
or
was,
three more mentions of that. That's going to be funny.
I was living on the streets of Baltimore, and the next thing I know, I'm in a
raining.
cardboard box in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
But it's worth more than it was
It was
yesterday.
more than it was yesterday. Starry, starry night. Ain't your palette blue and gray? You can edit that out too, right?
No, it's fine. So, I have another thing to bring up.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
not
no.
that's
Does it involve
outside of the
Jesus
norm.
Christ?
No,
Okay.
no, but it does involve. It involves going somewhere. I'm going to be
Machu Picchu.
No.
Are you going to come back?
Yes.
Oh, good.
All right. I'm going to Las Vegas.
Oh.
I'm going to I'm going to go to the Sphere.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on my.
Who's playing in the
No.
You're just going to the Sphere.
I'm just going
You're
to.
just standing there.
They have a show.
and be
that's
like, wow, it's round.
They have a Welcome to the Sphere show.
Yeah. Look. Yeah.
Well, here's what it does.
Yeah.
Then they turn it on.
Is it like Mad Max in Thunderdome? Or?
I hope so.
Yeah. In fact, me and Mike are going to enter, and only one of us are going to leave.
Can you put down a bet for me when you're out there?
Sure.
Yes,
Give me
yes.
money.
I want to bet on the Wizards to lose every game.
Every game. They're not gonna. What about Porzingis?
Porzingis is gone. He won the championship with the Celtics last
that's
year.
right.
I put on Tina Turner's greatest hits album on the stereo a couple of days ago. She's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, she is amazing.
And then she's one of my favorite singers. of
Yeah,
all time.
she's incredible.
I think
Whatever
I
happened-
sort of
what-
always knew that, but not on a conscious level.
Whatever happened to Ike? Did he go to jail? He was a bad guy, right?
I don't know. I mean,
I didn't realize listening to that 500 songs of
Oh,
rock and roll
that's it.
podcast, which is an incredible
That is-
podcast. It's in fact it's who at the end of every podcast that we do, I say thank you, Andrew Hickey, because he's the one who does that show. But I did not realize, based on some of the history that he gave, how important Ike was to so many different people.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. Obviously, he had some very bad history.
I don't think he was a very good husband.
No, yeah, and I'm not trying to just put that under the rug anywhere.
Right, yeah.
But he was really a lot bigger player of the way music was working back then than I knew.
Industry-wise.
Yeah.
Those shows are just so.
He was very well respected as a musician too.
They're so
Yeah.
intellectual, and they go like sometimes I have to turn them off because they're going like I can't go there right now.
Did you listen to the one about the Grateful Dead?
Not yet.
It's fantastic.
I'm still-
he does a Kurt Vonnegut thing.
does he
Yeah,
explain-
the introduction is awesome.
Does he explain that jazz people don't like the Grateful Dead because the Grateful Dead have an audience?
No, he does a really interesting.
They're all in jail, but they do have an audience.
He takes a Kurt Vonnegut quote and kind of explains how when you're talking about the Grateful Dead, you're talking about the past, the present, and the future all in one piece, and how that the music kind of speaks to that moment. And it's really well done. I don't want to. I will not do it justice here.
A lot of it has to do with Robert Hunter's lyrics, or non-linear. And
Right.
I was trying to learn. Was it "Eyes of the World" or I was trying to learn a Grateful Dead song the other day. Had too many words in it.
I love the Grateful Dead. I think the Grateful Dead are really an important American institution. I think they're somehow bound up with the identity of 20th century America, I suppose.
Yeah. I actually, on the same note, I saw an interview with Dylan on 60 Minutes, and it was so awesome because they asked him, they said, they quoted one of his lines. They're like, darkness at the break of moon, shadows, the whole line. And so he goes to this whole thing, and he goes,
Did they ask him what it means?
Yeah, they said, what were you thinking when you wrote that? And then he said, I don't know. He said, what do you think you could ever write that again? And Dylan goes, no. He's like, it's over. He's like, I didn't even write that. It just came out of me.
Yeah.
And I think about when I hear about Robert Hunter, and I hear about Bob Dylan, and I hear about these writers that I really love and respect, that is a theme. The theme is the music just comes out. They're just vessels, man. It just pops out, and then it's almost not even them.
Yeah.
It was interesting to hear, and just Dylan was very much very humble. He wasn't. Cocky. He was very I don't know.
Dylan's funny, man. Though people over the years will always ask him what does that song lyric mean? And he'll always respond, "It doesn't mean anything." And they'll think he's having a laugh at him and having that sort of that bad attitude and being clever and making fun of them. And he's not. He's absolutely right. Those song lyrics don't mean anything. We will, as listeners, will build meaning into them. And there's plenty of times in my life where I've listened to some Dylan song and it's felt meaningful to me. They do feel meaningful.
Yeah.
But he's just stringing words together.
Oh, yeah, you disagreed.
Wow.
I mean, I know.
He either disagreed or was passing gas. I don't know.
Hold on. That could be the start of my aneurysm. I don't know. I know.
You ate a lot of cabbage earlier today, it must be said.
I hear the government's been monitoring my diet there. No. I hear what you're saying, but I think some of those, like blowing in the wind, that's clearly had meaning. That he had a clear intention true. That he, that he was writing, or everything is broken. We had referenced that song. Well, not one of his great songs, but that's a good song.
Well, I'm sure he he took stabs at things that did have meaning, but there are certainly times when I think he does just write words that sound pretty together and leave an interpretation for the listener. I know it personally is one of the ways that I like to write. I sometimes will go for a story or a feeling or whatever, but much prefer the way things sound when you put them together as opposed to a meaning.
Yeah, this is going to sound like left field, but I have a song that haunts me.
Is it me and you and a dog named Boo?
No,
for 7 years that damn song All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Don't, not again.
Traveling and living off the land.
Oh, man.
No. So I worked. It started. At the Little Grill. It started at the Little Grill, but but not that much. I mean,
not that place again.
No. The Eagles do not get played. Were never played at the Little Grill. The Eagles do not. But
some unwritten.
But I went and started working at this place called the Thunderbird Cafe. And every day, I heard Hotel California. I mean, every day.
You can
it
check
just came on.
Well, it was part of the recipe for making the eggs, right?
I don't know.
Hit play.
But from that day on, it's followed me to other jobs, and I just feel like I know it's a popular song. I know it's out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just catches me, and those are.
Yeah.
It's not a bad song.
It's a pretty good song.
I've even been like, I've gotten down to it a couple times. I've been like, champagne on ice. Yeah, like there's some funness to that song, and then I'll hear it too many times. In whatever situation, and I feel like it just.
My first job was at the Bridgewater Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And it was in the time of CD changers. You'd have like a CD player with a carousel in it, and you could put 5 CDs in there.
Amazing.
And the owners of the Bridgewater Dairy Queen loved Neil Diamond so much.
5 albums of Neil Diamond.
5 Neil Diamond albums,
Bum, bum, bum.
year round, except for Christmas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For Christmas, there was an entire month of 5
Charlie Brown.
Neil Diamond Christmas albums.
Neil Diamond Christmas albums.
Oh God!
Ross D.
Did you ever see of course, the Big Lebowski, the famous scene in there? They have the dude in a vehicle, and it's a life and death situation the gangsters have him or something. The radio's playing, and it's an Eagles song, and he's like, "No, not the Eagles." That's right. That's right. But the Eagles are great. I've had this debate before. For like somebody growing up in the suburbs of the North, the Eagles was to many people their first introduction to any kind of country music.
Yeah.
Well, to bring it back, the Eagles are playing at the Sphere.
I know they are. That's what's crazy. But
They're dead. No, at least half of them, right?
Don Henley's still around. So
the one
Joe
that
Walsh.
the one Eagle that matters.
No, I think there's
Joe
3.
Walsh,
I think
man.
There's 2.
I think there's 3.
3?
There's 3. But regardless, the cheapest tickets to see the Eagles were like $450.
You know,
God.
2
You
or
could
3.
see the Wizards from the front row for that.
2 or 3 generations from now, when they're still playing these songs, as bands, it won't be like, oh, well, they still have a member of their band in there. It'll be like, oh, they own the rights to play this song. That's
Right.
what it's going to be.
Well, the Pink Floyd just sold the rights to all their
Yeah,
music.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What was it, 300 million or
4?
They
400
missed out on
million
100 million because Roger Waters said something that got him canceled. Like, okay, 100 million less. You guys are gonna have to buy a smaller island now instead.
It's so crazy.
It is.
have to
It's
get
insane.
You have to get a Chinese helicopter instead of the good Switzerland helicopter.
Oh, I'm going down the interstate. As I do every day. And a freaking helicopter went by me on the interstate. It was on the back of a truck.
Oh.
And it just went, I was like, it was a big
Wow.
helicopter just on the back of a truck, just right there next to me. I've never seen that.
I
on
thought
the
you were going to say
interstate.
Pink Floyd's bus went by.
And Pink Floyd's
And
bus
Pink
went
Floyd
by.
went by. Hey, look at that.
Wow.
It's last call for
Ladies and
Rubies.
gentlemen,
Yeah.
we are brought to you by
It's
Rubies.
good time to mention it.
Arcade.
Don't worry, there's only 28 minutes left to this podcast.
Oh wow.
On the dark desert highway, cool breeze in my hair.
Hold on. What
Smell of
about
potatoes.
there's another song that doesn't haunt me, but it is hilarious. The Led Zeppelin "Stairway to Heaven" is another one of those songs
Yeah.
that, like, my son is
Does
into
anybody
it.
remember Laughter? Oh, so you've got like the next generation
Yeah,
playing it on repeat.
Is he liking it? Does he?
yeah,
like,
he likes
listens-
it. And it's funny. He likes all the classic rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also likes Styx and
Well,
Journey
you know,
and
it's
stuff
Styx
like-
Styx, they were great.
Yeah, I mean, he's way more into the '80s rock
Styx,
than I
Styx
ever
was
Sure.
They were like
That was
the
too
70s.
close for us, man. If our formative years were in the 90s, then the 80s stuff was a little too close.
Yeah,
to,
agreed.
Yeah.
Although I just taught him how to play "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on the guitar.
Yeah.
And he is so happy about that.
Yeah.
He's been playing that nonstop.
I've been rather dumbfounded at the number of Nirvana T-shirts I've seen on college campuses.
If you ever stop and talk to any of these kids wearing these shirts,
They haven't actually listened
They
to
have
Nirvana.
no clue who they're
Yeah,
talking
they-
to.
yeah.
Like they're walking around with like Stones shirts or Pink Floyd or
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix or the Morrison and the Doors. You stop and you're like,
Yeah.
so.
What's your favorite? And they're like,
No, they're like I just got it at Target. So there was a couple walking down the street the other day, and I was walking Tucker, and a cute couple,
Yeah.
and the guy says hello to me, and the woman has like a Rolling Stones T-shirt on. I was like, "Are you an actually Rolling Stones fan, or is that from Target?" She goes, "No, just Target." I
Yeah.
have no idea, no clue, no clue who they are.
I guess that's okay. I don't. Is it okay? I don't know.
I don't know.
What-
I mean, because-
what difference
because-
does it make if it's not okay?
Well, because I mean, like a T-shirt is not the art. That's the marketing for the art.
it's not what it was. It's not. It's different now. So
Yeah.
whether that's okay or
music
not, is-
industry-wise, now musicians are predominantly T-shirt salesmen.
Yeah, right.
That's
right.
I've been selling a lot of T-shirts. I know that.
So
My band.
Oh.
At Target, you got that Target deal.
I got that Target deal.
That sweet Target
I
money.
got an Etsy page.
Yeah,
You get that Target money.
You get that Target money,
Man.
You get that Spotify money every once in a while.
Huh.
17 cents, baby.
Hey,
Dude, I'm at like
Well,
$10
we've
a year.
we've reached
no,
that.
no, please say it ain't so, Mike.
We've reached
Say
that
it ain't
time.
so.
I know that we could go on and on about our Target money.
Somewhere
Goals.
somebody left their Spotify account playing and they fell asleep and they're waking up like, what is this crap we're listening to? What is this? I was listening to something about Bitcoin and then
Well, thanks again to our sponsor, Ruby's Arcade, and the historic Wine Brothers building in downtown Harrisonburg. And thanks to the Political Action Committee for Taylor Swift for president. Now announcing her running mate, George Clooney. Swift Clooney 2024. Because who doesn't want a Swift Clooney? I'm Dan Aisley.
I hear music. Sweet, sweet music.
Oh, no, it's just the slamming sounds of them destroying granite.
All right, kids. If there's anybody listening, we may or may not see you next week. In the meantime, keep your powder dry and don't take any wooden nickels. See you next week.
Pray for us all.
Yeah.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers Howdashell and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.